Hello everyone. I hope you are all doing good, staying at home and staying safe. In the previous class, we discussed about classic tweening. Today we are going to talk about shape tweening. To understand shape tweening, first we have to understand morphing. Morphing is a special effect in motion pictures and animation that changes or morphs one image or shape into another through a seamless transition. Traditionally, such a depiction would be achieved through dissolving techniques on film. Since the early 90s, this has been replaced by computer software to create more realistic transitions. So, first of all, when we are talking about dissolving a picture or a shape into another one, we use shape tweening. So let us start with our lecture today. So you have to open your Adobe Creative Cloud, and from there you have to open Adobe Animate. That has already been installed and you are using the free license for this epidemic period from Adobe. So it will take a little bit of time depending upon the specification of your computer. So in the previous lecture we discussed about like how a carom board we can blend in different layers and we can create a good animation. So today what we are going to do is shape tweening. Okay, so let us start with our hands-on experience. So I'm going to create a normal scene. Okay, so if you click on the stage, I need to have a different color for my stage. You can choose any color. Okay, so it can be a bit different than the normal. Okay, now you have different toolbars available over here. If you right click, you will see different tools available to you like oval, rectangle, polygon. Okay, so let us start first with the rectangle one. Okay, so I need some different color. For example, I will take red color and I create this. Okay, so this is my layer that would be rectangle to oval, for example. Okay, so this is my layer and I want to transform into an oval shape on my first second. If you look over here, it says 1 second and that is the 38th frame. So this is the frame per second that we are using. Width and height we already discussed about that. Okay, so now I want to create an oval and I want to give another color. Okay, so over here I will right click and I will click on insert blank keyframe, and over here I'm going to create an oval. Okay, so the color, I want to change the color, so I can change the color to green. So if you look over here, from start I am having a red rectangle and on the 30th frame I'm having a green oval or a circle, whatever you want to say. So I will click on here and right click and click on shape tween. So now if you press enter, so you will able to see the transformation from one shape into an other shape. On your timeline, there is one thing called onion skin. Okay, so onion skin, so it will give you an idea how the actual transformation is being done from rectangle to the circle. Okay, so I will click on removing the onion skin. So this is my layer from rectangle to oval. So this is how we change an object or morphs from one shape to another by using shape tweening. Okay, so I'm going to lock this layer and I will create another layer. So this will be layer for text. So this is my starting position. I will include some text. Okay, so here I put the text. So you can change the size of whatever you want to do. For example, this is 90. You can change the formation. For example, okay, let me write some text. E. So if you want to do that, I want to change the color, for example, black. So this is now done. Okay, but this is a text. First thing we have to do, we have to change it to an object, because only when we are talking about shape tweening it can be done on objects, but this is a text. So how we can convert an object into a text? We just select this tool, we go to modify, and there's an option that is called break apart. Once I will click this break apart, what it will do, it will break apart all the characters into objects. Now it will be very good thing to do our text shape tweening. What I will do, I will again click modify and break apart. Then what it will do, it will make a single object. So this is, we have created a text into an object. Now we can do the work. So what we are going to do, like on the 30th second, okay, so I'm going to click and insert blank keyframe, and over here if I want to transform this text to an object, let's take another object, that is polygon. So this is a polygon. Okay, so let us click on the it and we will change the color. For example, no, we'll change it to some other color. Okay, and we want it to put it over here. Okay, if you want you can use the shape options. Okay, and this, when you're creating the okay, so now what we are going to do, we have to transform the text into this polygon. So I'm going to click here, create shape tween. So if you look at over here, what it happens, it makes the text dissolve and make it into a polygonal shape. So now we can press Ctrl Enter and we can see the animation that we have created from shape tweening, converting rectangle into an oval. Text first we created into objects and then we make it to another shape. So you can try with different colors, your name or whatever you want to use it as a text to do this one. Later on, if we want to make different shapes for different text, for example, if this text I want to change and make different shapes, for example R, A, Z or anyone, so how we can do it in an easy manner. Okay, so we'll discuss about that. Okay, so as I discussed that if you want to make shape tuning for this text object, for example I want some other shape for R, some other shape for A, some other shape for Z and some other shape for A. So it will be a quite hectic task if you just select all the objects and make another layer where you are just going to put this and so on. Similarly, this was for example R, this was A, then you select this, okay, and create another layer, set, and here you place this one, last one over here as A. So what we have done over here, if we just look at R is converted to polygon and we want A to be transformed or Z in, and A into another shape. So how this thing, like this is a small text, so it is very hectic to do this thing. So there's another way you can do this method. Like if I want, if I look at over here, if I go over here, this was my starting position. I will come here and I will insert blank keyframe, and over here I will transform in this shape for example, and then I will insert shape to it. So if you look at now, different shapes are here. So this is a hectic task to do. There's a simple method that is already available that you can utilize. So this is one method. There's another method that we can use. Okay, so how we do that? So I'm just going to delete all these layers. Okay, this was our starting layer. Now I'm going to add a new layer. Okay, so in starting I will insert text. Okay, so this is the text and I will position it over here. So if you remember, like we use this option as modify to break apart. There's another way to do this one. Okay, over here this is break apart. So this is, first we have break apart the characters and then again we had break apart to make it as an object. This is what we have actually done previously. But if you want to do separate thing, I'm not going to do this thing. This is my text. I use break apart. Okay. This is my actual text. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to do break apart, so it will break apart all the characters separately, and then I will right click and distribute to layers. So if you look over here, what had happened, by default it had made it to different layers and different characters over here. So now I will convert this into, for example, a movie clip by pressing F8. So then you will have this blend in option, and so other things are there. So this is one thing, you can do the blend in options that are there. For the current moment, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to right click again, I'm going to do break apart for this layer, so it is much easy for me to work with. Then I will come back again over here, right click, break apart, Z, break apart, and A. I will make it as break apart. Now if you look at our layer 6, this is the initial layer that we started with. So if you close this one or you delete this one, it really doesn't matter. Now I will come to R. Now over here I will put a blank keyframe, and over here I'm going to put, for example, an oval. Okay, so if I'm going to look over here, now right click, shape tool. So now it is very easy for us to work one by one rather than doing it all at once. So I will come here, insert blank keyframe, and over here I will put polygon, for example, this one. I will change the color for this polygon, fill this color, and I will create shape tween, and I will go to Z, insert blank keyframe. Over here I will make it a rectangle. Okay, this one. Okay, I'll change the color to this one. Now shape tween. Now for this A, blank keyframe, and over here, okay, polygon. Okay, if I want number of sides of this polygon to be like 8, for example, so it will create 8 size polygon. So depending upon your requirements, you can create that. Okay, so I will be putting over here some other color. Okay, so make it a different shape tween. Now it is much easy to work with different objects rather than creating one object and then creating different layers. So this method is a bit easier than the previous one. So now you have understood this technique. We are going to move in how to make a fade in or fade out effect in an animation. Okay, so I have saved the file and I closed that file that we were working on. So now we are trying to make an understanding how we can create and zoom in and zoom out or fade in or fade out effect. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a new stage. Okay, so see, there are certain shortcuts that you need to be knowing it on hands in order to play with this tool. So by using control and minus, or you can go to view, zoom in or zoom out. So depending upon your requirement, you can do this thing. So when you click on the stage, control minus and control plus can zoom in or zoom out, or you can use the options given to you. Now I'm going to insert. Okay, so what I'm going to do. Okay, so you can either use copy and paste option, or you can go to file, import to stage. Okay, so I have one picture over here. Okay, so if you can see, my stage is big and the picture is small, so that's fine. So if you want to change the size of the picture or anything, you can do that. Okay, so this is our starting frame, but I want to show that this will come out into the screen, so I will start from here rather than putting it over here. Then on this I will insert keyframe and I will put a picture over here, and then I will do classic tween. So if you look at over here, it will come as a smooth transition picture coming to an stage. So if you look at the output screen, so picture is coming over here. So this is fade in, and then I want this picture to hide or dissolve. In order to do that, what I have to do, like for example on the second keyframe, so on the second over here I'm going to click an insert frame, and over here I will make it disappear from the stage, and then I will click on the classic tween. So this will happen like this. So if I look at the output stream, voila. So this is one way. Okay, so fade in, fade out. Now there's another technique that if you want to dissolve this picture, we can do that as well. So how to do that? So what I will be doing, I will be saving this file first. Insert. Okay, and I will create another file to make you understand how we can work this thing out. Okay, so I'm going to make the screen smaller and import to stage, same house picture. Okay, so I will be doing it starting from here, but I have to make this an symbol. So for that you can click F8 So this is my clip, and the type you have to choose is the movie clip. So when you do that, then you will able to see different effects that are available on the right hand properties. So let us do one thing. On the 30th frame, I'm going to insert keyframe, and I will put the picture over here, and I will put classic tween. So it will come over here. Now that is fade in. Now I have to dissolve this picture. So I will come over here. Okay, I will put insert keyframe. Okay, now I will use the color effects that is given over here. So over here there are brightness, tint, advanced, alpha. So there are different ways that you can play with when you have free time. For dissolving the picture, I'll be using alpha, and for here I will make the picture disappear. When you put the alpha value to 0, the picture will disappear. And now I will click on classic tween. Okay, now look at the output, how it will look like. It is taking a bit of time. Okay, so that's fine, we'll wait for that. Okay, so the picture is coming in and dissolving into the scene. So this is the way that you can dissolve, fade in or fade out the pictures. So I'm going to save this thing. Okay, save. This will be my 4th file, and I'm going to close this one. Okay, now we are going to look into some other features or things that we can use in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. Okay, so I'm going to make a bit bigger. I'm going to change the stage over here. So now we are going to look into the different text transformation that we can use to make our animation look good. Okay, so now we are going to play with other properties of text, fade in, or different things that we are going to do. Okay, so over here we are going to talk about, okay, so this is the text. Okay, so if you want to do an animation similar like we were doing previously, that you can do it outside your stage. At this I will insert keyframe, and over here I want to make the text over here. If you want, okay, now I will put a classic tween over here. So if you look at the output window, so it looks like this. Okay, so this is one. Okay, now I'm going to create another layer, and starting position I will have some text. Okay, but I need to change the color of this text. to be a different one. Okay, so I'll do the black. Okay, and I will put it over here in the starting. Here I'm going to go keyframe, and from here I will put it here. Then I am going to create class tween. So this is one, but I want some different things to be done with this text. Okay, so what we can do, like I want holiday to come letter by letter or a letter shape format. So what I can do, I can right click over here. I can do break apart. This, and I can distribute it to layers. So this is not done. Okay, so first let me delete the layers. This is our layer 2. This is okay. So I will delete this layer. Maybe something wrong that I have done. Okay, so I will put it over here today. Okay, so this is my tune. Okay, I want it over here, so much better. Okay, so I will be going at this the starting point. I will click here, modify break apart. Maybe it's not selected. Let's first select this one. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, we'll start with today. Okay, rest I will delete. Okay, so this one I will start from here. Okay, so symbol graphic. Okay, then break apart. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so this is the frame. Okay, so I will take around 2 seconds because I'll be needing over here. I will be putting it over here and create classic tween. So if I look at the output, it will give me this thing. Okay, over here, because I have created the tuning, so it will not work as what I supposed to get. So I will be removing everything. So I will start from here. Okay, so these are my letters. Okay, so I will be putting distribute to layers. So I have today, all the layers are here. I will be deleting this layer. So I have all the layers. So I can select all the layers. Okay, so I can select all the layers. Okay, and on the 60th layer I will press F5. Okay, and I will put today over here. and right click, classic tween. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so now if you look at the timeline, it is not changing. So this is the reason that the normally people starting with Adobe Animate make this mistake. So what we have to do is we go back, okay, to the starting point. Okay, so this is our starting point. Okay, or we can start from here. It depends upon you how you want things to be. Okay, so we are just removing everything. Okay, so we have this over here where you want it to be on your timeline. Okay, so the first thing is we are going to convert this into a graphic. For example, this is T. So one by one we have to convert O, T, but then only we can create the animation. Without that we cannot create an animation. Why? Okay, that's done. Now for example, on the 60th frame, okay, so we are just going to copy all the frames, copy frames, and we are going to paste frames. You have to select all, and paste the frames. What happened? Okay, so the problem is made a mistake. Okay, so shift, copy frames on the 60th frame, and paste frames. Okay, now done. So if you look over here, that what I have done, and I will be again selecting all the frames here. So I want these frames to be on the top, and if I look over here, it will be coming over here. So now I will be clicking on shift over here and over here, so all will be selected, and I will be doing classic tween. Okay, so now this today is coming as a smooth transition, but I wanted to make it as a ladder form. So how we can do that? It's very simple. That I want T over here, this I want it to be on the 10th frame. I just drag and drop the 10th frame. So if you now look at over here, what will happen? T will come first, then I want this on the 20th frame, and I'll just make this bigger so it will be easier for me to deal with. Okay, and here I will be dragging it and putting it on 30th frame. Same, I will be putting the 40th frame, and this one on the 20th frame. So if we look at over here, this one, where it's not on the 50th. Okay, so now if you look at it, so we have made the ladder of it. Okay, so this is one way. Now if we look at over here, and I shift the location from there to over here, the starting, and now I can change it to here. Like over here, I can change it to a bit up. So now if I look at it, so if you look at this, now you can see that the letters are overlapped. From the top it was fine, now from here the letters are overlapped. Okay, so let us play with the other settings over here, like this one. I want the O to start from the 10th frame, D with 20th frame, this one with 30th frame, and this one from 40th frame. So now let us see how it looks like. Now previously all the letters were coming or overlapping, now it's a bit steady. So this is how you can play with the other techniques or things just in order to make your animation look good. Okay, so this is how our animation. Now we are going to create another layer. Okay, and we are going to create some text on it. Okay. So I will change the color. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, so if I look at my animation over here, okay, so I need holiday to come a bit down so it can be pretty viewable. Over here, now let us see. Okay, so this is fine. I need a little bit of tweaking over here. Okay, so this is my starting frame, so I'm just going to copy this frame and I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, so I don't need that one. So if I look at the animation, okay, so now I'll go on the starting point. So this tool, free transformation tool. Okay, so I'll put this one here. So is it visible? So I'm going to see it is visible. So I'm just going to smaller, so it is not viewable. Here, classic tween. Now see. Okay, the transition is not that smooth. Okay, so if I look at the animation again, so this is the transition is not as what I expected. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so maybe you have spotted the problem because this is my holiday. First press F8, make it to graphic. Okay, so now I will copy from here and I will paste it over here. This one, frame, this frame. Okay, now this one I will use free transformation tool and create classic twin. Now let us see. Voila. So this is how you can create different animations. So you can now play with these tools or animations, and that will be helpful for you when you are working with different texts. So kindly work on these techniques so to make you have a better idea how it works. And also don't forget to save the file. This is the third for future reference.